All right. So I have my good friend Eric Brady here, and Eric and I just recently finished reading the Bible in a year. And so we used the app U version and we read it together. And what was cool is it had a daily reading, and then it goes through Old Testament, New Testament, Psalms, and Proverbs. And then there's even, you can just throw comments out there. And so I just offered anybody in our small group to read through the Bible with me, and Eric took me up, and another guy, and he's still trekking. But Eric and I got to ask you this, Eric. It seemed like we got in a little bit of a race between you.
Oh
and
yeah. Yeah, you definitely got ahead of me there. And it's like I am lagging and hammered through it. And when we say read the Bible, I think a majority is the time of actually listening to it on my way to work and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I do want to read it. I think I get more out of that instead of listening to it, because you know how it is driving. You can definitely be sitting in your vehicle, listening to the Bible, and just completely getting sidetracked. And,
road raging at the guy in front of you.
Yeah.
While he's
Be calm. Yeah, be quick to get angry. You're listening to that and you're screaming at the dude in front of you, let's go. For sure.
Yeah, well, you have a pretty good commute on your hands, so that was. But when we started it out, I remember telling you guys, like, I generally try to, when I read, if I have the time, I'll try to do two daily readings at a time, and because life happens, right? Especially summer rolls around, and so you take a week off and you don't all of a sudden get back. And I've read the Bible before where all of a sudden I'm like way behind the gun, and it gets depressing. You're just like, I'm not going to finish it this year. But I just noticed with you, like it felt like you just like would get ahead, and then maybe you'd lax a little bit, especially during the summer. Like we maybe hit some vacations, and I was consistently doing a couple a day, and I got well in front of you, and all of a sudden I just noticed, like, and I would get an alert, like, Eric just commented on day 340. I'm like, are you kidding me? And so I had to. I'm like, were you like, dude, I gotta catch back up to this guy?
There was some I didn't want to comment on because I know it's going to send you a notification. Like, I'm coming for you, brother.
Okay.
I'm coming.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
too funny. I would go ahead and check, like, hey, where's Andy at in this? I'm like, oh man, he's like 15 days ahead of me. I got to get back on the ball. Yeah,
That's
getting
funny.
out of that rhythm on summer vacation definitely took a little sidetrack to that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So you already mentioned, I was going to ask you that. Do you feel like there was a difference? So you mainly listened to it. Was there a difference ever when you read it? Did you read it some?
Yeah, I did read some. I would say maybe 5%, and definitely liked reading it. I think I retained a little bit more, so I was actually engaged in actually looking at the words and stuff. This is the second time I did it. The first time I did it, I used the Bible Project, and I really like that one. I think I got a lot out of that because they kind of give you like a pretext of what the particular book's going to be, and I really absorbed a lot from the Bible Project.
Did you read that one, or did you primarily listen to that one?
Listen to it primarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What was different about it?
Just having the guys explain each book, and then some of the things were confusing, like the coals to the lips, and they walk through that and say that's essentially your sin. Yeah, I don't know. It's good. I liked it.
Okay,
yeah,
so
that was last year, I think.
A bit of a commentary. So that was one of my other questions. So this isn't the first time you've journeyed through the Bible. You've done it before.
Yeah, so this would be my second time. Yeah.
Was there anything that kind of stuck out to you this time?
Yeah, definitely towards the end, actually having that connection. For me, I don't always feel that connection with God, and always feel the Holy Spirit. And in this time, towards the end, I definitely felt it a lot more. And then when did we finish? Monday? We finished Monday morning.
Monday, I think so.
And just from Monday, just going back to my secular podcast, not having that connection is, I felt it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so funny how hard it seems that you need to work to maintain that relationship with God, and how quickly it can go away. I thought that was really interesting. I kind of felt that this morning driving into work. So I started another little side thing. Yeah.
I saw that you invited me to that. I'll probably join you on that. Is that you invited me on that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go. I felt the exact same thing. Like I was like pounded off Monday, and I was like, okay. And I have a book that I'm planning on reading, but like literally I haven't started. And I get up in the morning, I go down, and I just realize all of a sudden I'm just scrolling Twitter, talking to my wife, and where I used to be, I would read the Bible. You know, I'm like, I got to get this done, and you know, it's almost like a task, but I found, because I listen to it some too. I primarily read. I would say probably 80% of the time I'm reading it. This is interesting. I found that I go faster reading it. Like I go a lot faster.
I sped up my the guy that reads or whatever, like automatically.
Yeah.
I went in there and kind of sped that guy up.
What do you know what version you primarily used?
New Living Translation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that a conscientious choice? Was that just default?
I think it's just easier for me to, I don't know, understand some of the words. Yeah. Sometimes in offline mode, it would do the King James version.
Oh,
and
yes.
The guy's voice changed too. It was
right.
It was different for me. Yeah.
Thee and thou and right.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, man. Yeah, it's interesting. I do NLT myself. It's actually my favorite version. And I kind of just stumbled onto it through the years. I used to do NIV a bunch, and but yeah, NLT is great. I just watched a video with Mark Driscoll. He's like a pastor down in Arizona, and he did a commentary on, or his own thoughts on Bible translations. And he's kind of an ESV guy, which is kind of got popular in the last couple of decades. It's kind of like the best word for word translation. But then he's like, I really like the NLT, and he's put the NLT right next to the ESV. Like he was like, it's really good. And so I was, and I don't know, I haven't done any of my own research. I just kind of through the years stumbled up. I just got an NLT one time. I started reading it. I was like, I like this. This one just really works. And so I've kind of been doing that ever since. So it was nice to have somebody who's more, knowledgeable than me go, yeah, it's a good version. Did the comments, so like this version, we would comment, like, so you read through it and then somebody can just throw a comment out there. Did you ever find those helpful or like distracting?
Oh, absolutely. I like the comments because obviously someone's going to pick something out of the word that, maybe I skipped over it and give too much thought about. I think there was one, oh man, I forgot. I couldn't remember what it was, but it was like pretty specific and graphic. I was like, oh yeah. Went back, looked at it again. I'm like, oh, it did say that. Okay, noted. Yeah.
Oh, that was, I think, in Song of Solomon's. I remember leaving a pretty graphic comment, and you were like commenting back. You're like, bro, like, and I was like, hey, it's right there in the text.
I'm like, it did not say that, and went back. I'm like, oh, it did. Yeah, maybe you pay attention while driving.
Yeah, there's so much metaphor. I like the comments too. Like they were fun, and like your comments, like were always like, whoa, I didn't even, like you were looking at something completely different than me, which was cool, and it's like you're only reading a few chapters. But okay, what was your least favorite book?
Numbers.
Okay, just the slog. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
By the way, that's what's helpful when you're reading it. You can, like, if it's just those big, lineologies or whatever, family, I just start going, I don't care who begot.
Right.
I'm scrolling through that, that's the only thing I scroll through pretty much. Cause it's like, I'm not going to remember a bunch of old school Jew names.
I'm sure there's some individuals out there that actually has gone through Numbers and traced out all that lineage.
Yeah. Well, they do even the lineage down to Jesus, right? Like they trace, it's super important to them. They go all the way back to David in particular. And then, they'll go all the way back to Adam, right? The first man, and then they go all the way down, and that's important. But man, this
I think it's definitely interesting too. When Charlie Kirk got shot, what was that, 15 days ago now?
Yeah,
going through the Bible as well and seeing the direct correlations from the word to current events that's happening as well. Current events recently have just been insane, it seems like.
Oh man, in the total outpouring of just Charlie Kirk's death, as far as just to, I think, I would say the Holy Spirit. I'd say some form of revival. It really supercharged me, and I know in my own personal convictions. But it was all like what you're saying. I think if I would add to that, I would say it was like I was already on a good track. I'm reading the Bible. I've been praying more. I'm not drinking since September. So I just was already, doing those things. And then Charlie Kirk dies or literally gets martyred. And you're just like, whoa. And it was nice to already have some good habits in place.
Yeah, for sure.
Just then
that one sucked, because I think you and I definitely see ourselves and Charlie Kirk as a staunch conservative, or Christian, I should say, Christian first, then conservative.
That's right.
And to see him get shot, super graphic. And then seeing some individuals like celebrate it, it's just like, wow, these individuals would be celebrating my death if I had a platform like Charlie Kirk did.
Right.
And I think that's kind of scary. You know what I mean? Well, to me, that's scary.
I think there's a real misunderstanding and confusion, and I would say evil out there. And I've talked to even some Christian people, and they're like, the tendency is to, rise up and crush the left. And they mistake that as a literal crushing. Like, I want to go out and destroy people. I'm like, no, that's not, but I don't ever want to destroy any specific person. What I do want to crush is the evil thinking. Right? Like, you shouldn't ever celebrate a dad getting cut down. Like, that's just ever. I don't care, and there's one thing about justice, like, hey, we're cutting down Nazis who are fathers. And that's really sad, the fact that we're cutting them down. But there is an aspect of justice there. And like, we are putting a stop to a massive evil going on. I think you'd be really hard pressed. Anyone would be hard pressed, the ones who are celebrating Charlie Kirk, to go, what kind of evil was he out there promoting, other than ideologies that you're against? He wasn't physically rounding up anybody or doing anything, that was physically bringing harm to anyone. So yeah, it's really sad. And it's weird that there's a disconnect there. Like, people think
absolutely a disconnect.
Like,
you got the same people that are calling for gun reform and gun control or celebrating gun violence. It doesn't make any sense to me.
That's right. Yeah. But I don't know, man. This is like one of the burdens that's been on me lately. It's like, what a gift. Like, God was just literally took this guy's blood. I allowed that murder to happen. God allowed it, right? He obviously moved Trump's head. And so he saved Trump's life. Like, if you believe that God is sovereign and in control, then you go, well, he could have spared Charlie, but he didn't. He allowed it to happen. And I think in some ways it's like to supercharge people's faith, to bring out this revival. And you're like, did he really have to die for that? You know what I mean? You're like, that's where I go. I'm like, oh man. But I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely think that, you do have God's control, but you also have an evil force that acts out as well. It's a interesting concept.
Yeah, he allows evil. I don't think he was encouraging. I don't think he was putting evil actions in people's hearts. I don't think that's at all what we see in the Bible, right?
Yeah.
But he does allow the Assyrians to come in and conquer Israel, and he allows the Israelites to be taken out into Babylon. So it's like, I don't think he's, it's interesting. What was your favorite book?
Oh. Probably Paul's letters to the Corinthians.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Was there like something in particular that kind of stood out in there?
I just like the way Paul talks. I like the way he puts it all out there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty logical. I feel like he's always just stacking, right? A logical analysis on there.
Yeah.
I love
what was yours? Yeah.
I love what they call the wisdom literature. Like Ecclesiastes is one of my favorites, and I loved Hebrews. Like I was just going through Hebrews in the New Testament, and I was just like, I really love how the writer just cements Jesus above Moses. Like I know it's a weird thing, but it's like, and he argues that Jesus is a different order of priesthood, which is crazy. Like the priesthood in the order of Melchizedek. So he's like going, hey, this isn't a Levitical priesthood. This is a priest that stands through the test of time, entered the temple made by God's hands, which is just super fantastic. It's like he literally went into God's temple and offered him a sacrifice that God found pleasing or acceptable. Dude, one book that really took me by surprise. It's almost like and I've read the Bible a few times, multiple times over, but it's, I'm going to mispronounce it. Zechariah, Old Testament.
Sounds great.
Old Testament prophet. It was right there at the end, right? It's right there, Old Testament reading. Dude, it was so crazy to be reading that and Revelation at the same time and seeing like the guy named Jeshua, like he's prophesying about Jeshua, which by the way, that's technically what they called Jesus when he was walking around. They called him Joshua, essentially, is that an English version, but we use the word Jesus because it's this, it signifies he's different, essentially. But I was like, dude, there's so much prophecy there. I mean, even prophesying about the donkey, him riding in on a donkey, but in Zechariah, he goes into how he's going to be a priest and a king at the same time. And there's going to be complete harmony between those two roles. And he says that all in Zechariah. And I was like, dude, this is just incredible. Like I was blown away. I'm like, when have I read this book? But anyways, and it's longer than I thought because those Old Testament, what we call like the minor prophets going through towards the end, they're like 2 chapters, 3 chapters, and that thing's like 20 plus. It's like, well, anyways,
I did like Ezekiel for sure. That's always fascinating for me.
Yeah,
talking about the angels and stuff. I'm like, man, there's definitely some UFO stuff going on here. For sure.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think what else? Ezekiel.
Daniel's super fantastic.
I had a buddy that was doing, I think he was running like 40 miles in like a certain amount of hours, some David Goggins thing. And in the Navy, we always kind of knew each other as like secular dudes. And then it's really cool to see him posting on his stuff, like Bible verses and stuff. And one of the things I sent him, like, I was encouraging him on this deal. I'm like, dude, keep at it. And I sent him that. And then God asked, who should I send? Send me. I sent that to him. He used that in his little reel. And then that was back a couple months ago.
That's right.
And then to see that like on Charlie Kirk's thing, memorial, like send me. I thought that was pretty powerful. I hit him back up. It's like, man, we were just talking about this a couple months ago. Yeah.
That's it. That was a big deal. That was a big thing for Charlie. I watched a podcast where he uses like the actual Hebrew, and it's like, I'm going to butcher the word, but it's like Hanai, something like that. And it's just essentially, he's like, here I am. And the implication is use me. And it's, he prayed that a lot. And you're like, oh boy, let's go. Sweet. Well, I probably already know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask, would you do it? Would you do it all again?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm already thinking about doing it again. Yeah. Getting that rhythm, having that connection, having that time with God has really helped me out in a lot of avenues of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's nice to have something solid to fall back on, especially in these days. It's just insane. Every day there's something new on the news, and especially being connected with social media, you're seeing every tragedy that happens around the world. It's definitely nice to go to a quiet place and, have that connection with God. Yeah.
Did you feel like it was like a centering?
I'd say so. Yeah, for sure. I know I was listening to something and listening to a podcast, and they were talking about just having quiet time with God and just shut everything down in the vehicle and just, I didn't like the term meditation back in the day, but now I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense. And can just meditating, thinking of being in God's presence and being quiet and having having your whole mind still, because you got to, for me anyways, to hear God, I got to be locked in, you know what I mean, per se,
Right.
with no other distractions or anything like that. And yeah, having this daily routine, driving, Bible, doing this, yeah, definitely has helped centered me as an individual. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what I feel like too, all the time. Like you can have a lot of stuff going on in your day-to-day life, and then the global, because we're so tapped. You can read Twitter and all of a sudden it's like you're caring about an event that's happening 3,000 miles away. Whereas when you read the Bible, like before all that, it's like all of a sudden I'm thinking about Moses, or I'm thinking about what Jesus said in that parable. And it's like this recentering. It's like, okay, life is a lot longer. Things have happened before that are worth your attention. You don't need to be super concerned with something that's happening 5,000 miles away, but at the same time, you might even have a new perspective on it. And so, great. So I'm just going to assume you would recommend people doing this.
Absolutely. Yeah. No brainer.
Yeah. Sweet.
Download the app today.
Yeah. We used YouVersion, but there's other places you can do it. But well, Eric, thanks so much for your time. And dude, I would love to do this again with you sometime. I mean, reading the Bible. We talk all the time, but reading the Bible together, let's do it. So
just to be fair with you, I waited on day 365. I waited for you to finish it before I finished it. Yeah.
That's the Christian thing to do.
Yeah.
Treat others right, like you like to be treated. There you go.
Yeah.